Apostle Ely. I know I'm coming on early, but I wanted this. I've been up early, and this has been on my heart, and I want to share this with you guys. I know that many of you guys may be in Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi, Congo, Christians, Adjays, witches, mystics, universal laws. What goes around comes around, and I got up this morning praying and interceding, and I'm just thinking about many of you guys that I'm out there speaking with, and maybe you're being inspired by me in some form of fashion, whether it be my children watching or whether it be loved ones or people that have taken a liking to me. I feel like on my platform, it is my responsibility to share certain things with you guys so you can be more sober-minded when it comes to hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, Lakumi. There is a misnomer out here in this spiritual streets about you get cleansing, get rid of your past. A lot of you guys, let me explain something. What's up there, Kendall Hall? Thank you so much. The early rising, yes. I just came on here. I don't know how I'm going to watch this or chime in on this morning, but my heart is to share something with you guys from a very personal place with me, and hoping that many of you guys that may be watching this, that one day that you'll realize before 2023 gets here, or just have an awakening. When you're out here spiritually, we are all energy. We are all Ashe energy. And I have a scripture that I'm coming from. It's Jeremiah the 31st chapter, the 29th verse. And it says this: in those days they shall say no more, the father has eaten our sour grapes, and the children's teeth are on edge. And what's up there, Curtis, Gemini? What that means is, guys, that for whatever reason, no matter if you're a Christian, whether you're an Adjay, even an atheist, a lot of the problems that I encounter, that people don't understand that you are a product of a family tree. What's up, Linda Green? And this is why even we talk about ancestor readings. And a lot of times people are not considering of what has happened in the family, why certain events are going on throughout the branch. And what besides what I was going through, I was cleaning this plant, and I was getting prepared to do some working with this plant. And I want y'all to look at this real good. When it comes down to your family tree, that's the good, the bad, and the indifferent. Whether you are a child that came through holy matrimony, whether you were a child from a side piece, whether you were a child just your parents didn't get married or whatever, you still a part of a DNA structure. And depending on how they behave, there are some things that I grew up thinking that was okay. I'm gonna give you an example. When I came up in my family, they call you everything but a child of God. You understand? It's like I didn't realize what verbal abuse was, because it was an everyday thing. My aunts, my uncles, my mama, my grandma, everybody talked this way. Just because everybody do something don't make it right. Doesn't make it productive. Doesn't mean that it doesn't abuse. And I remember I didn't know it at the time, but my middle boy told me about my older son, and he had fairly large teeth in his mouth, and I used to say things about his teeth. Now, me being the parent, I'm getting off from work, I'm just going off, and I am doing what I was raised to do. Well, I'm going to show you why this matters. And I'm doing what I was raised to do. And I'm saying this. So my son goes in the room. He's hurting. Now, I have mentally wounded him. I'm somebody he loves. I'm somebody he looks up to. I'm somebody he respects. And I'm saying these things about him. Even I feel like I have a right to do, because I am parent. Not realizing the damage I am doing. Y'all understand where I'm coming from? A part of growing spiritually, even as a parent, even as a leader, even as whether you are with your children, whether they're grandparents, is acknowledging the damage that you have done to your loved ones. I don't care if it's your sister, lying to your sister, lying on your sister, lying to your brother, lying on your brother, taking from them. The things that we do in our families, if you don't think that energy follows us into our practice, then you are not learning true spirituality. A lot of the stuff that I see now has a lot to do with this stuff right here. Because most of us are trying to attack the situation way up here when it's a root problem. This stuff been going on before you got here. This may be 3, 4, 5, 6 generations back that were doing this kind of stuff. Look at how long, like when you sow a seed into the ground, when great granddaddy sowed that seed into the ground, going with Miss Robinson or messing with Mr. Jethro, way back when. You know what I'm saying? That was a seed. But look how them roots have, look at that. I want y'all to really, when you're out here talking about breaking generational curses and undoing hexes and trying to straighten out patterns, baby, it's work. Some of you guys have honestly got out here and tried to think positive, tried to do things better, but you don't realize how deep the roots run. You are a product of your family and environment. Yeah, but that is true, Kendall Hall. But you don't know. Think about how many people get into Christianity thinking that, oh, Jesus paid the price, or get into voodoo or Santeria, literally thinking that they're going to do away with their family tree, when those are your genetics. Those are the energy fields or energy patterns that you have to work out. You know what I'm saying? Every one of us came down here and chose a family bloodline to come through. And if some of us are not willing or honest enough to be able to acknowledge this, then when you're doing your cleansing bath, you don't know what to pray for. You don't know what to ask the spirits or the ancestors' strength for. You don't know what to banish. You don't know what conversations you need to have. Because listen here, I tell my kids, there's some things I overcome and there's some things I have not, I'm still struggling with. And so when your children are growing up, when they have certain tendencies or situations going on, let me tell y'all something. Every one of my baby mamas, listen, I literally have 3 baby mamas. And if I probably had a vasectomy, I probably have more than that. I never glorified that behavior to my sons. What I am saying is, whether you a mother or a father, when you go around and say, I'm your mama, I'm your daddy, and you put a period on that, and you're trying to justify bad choices, bad decisions, or slow decisions, or whatever, not getting an education, or having kids too early, whatever it is, not having enough economics or finances, or not fighting hard, whatever. Like, our stories are vast. But I'm constantly trying to heal, and I'm finding that people are expecting certain things to turn around in their life when those roots run so very, very deep. I was trying to, like, this is not even a big plant, but I was trying to pull this plant out of the soil, and there was so much dirt inside of these roots. Like, y'all seeing the clean version of what I did, right? Imagine when you got a spiritual cleansing and how much dirt done packed in those roots in your life, whether it's in y'all financial aspect of life, or whether it's in the love life. Have you ever been in a situation, the men and the women, they don't have healthy relationships, or they're not in relationship, or they're dying by themselves? These are trends of energy that come from one person to the next. And let me tell y'all something. If you are truly trying to practice spirituality, you have to do reflections. Like, it's hard for me not to be aware. My son came over the other day, and I'm looking at him, and I see myself in him, and I see my mom and his mom. You know, you can be stifling your child's growth, and you can either not know it, not be aware of it, not realizing that you're being more than just a mother, more than just a father. You're being an enabler, and you're keeping them from being able to apply what you have taught them, because you're not allowing them to make their mistakes or bump those roads. Because a lot of things that I have excelled in is because of the things I have gone through without getting those helps from mom, and instead of being a man, making my own decision whether it go right or whether it go wrong. This learning, I was telling my kids, I tell them, Dad, what you think? No, I want to know what you think. Oh, Dad, no, I want to, because I need you. If something happens to me, I need you to be able to trust your judgment. I need you to be able to trust your judgment. And let me explain to you, a lot of us, I don't care what ATR you in, a lot of us asking people their opinions because we have never learned to trust our decisions. Because the people we grew up with made us think that we couldn't think for ourselves. They always, before we can finish our sentence, they trying to finish it. A lot of the behavior, y'all, The reason why a lot of stuff is not manifesting as fast and quickly as it is because of these things called roots. Y'all, most everybody want to get to the easy part. Let's attack this over. No, baby. Everything that's down here is up here. Everything is up here is down here. And when they say as above, so below, we only think about one aspect, the positive. No, everything that's in the crown of my head is also in the sole of my feet. That's why when I do foot washing, I can literally read people through their feet, because whatever energy is in your feet is also in your head. You understand? So, because that energy flows all through you, just like the blood flows all through the body. A part of conjure, a part of spirituality is learning how life works. This ain't about exposing family. This ain't about making somebody feel bad. This is about understanding, you know what? I done made some decisions that I have learned from certain patterns. Whether it was learning to neglect or was it learning to be too excessive or smothering. It has to be a balance in your life. And the way that I'm utilizing conjure is to illuminate my understanding. So when I see things in my life or see things in my children's life, I can give them wisdom that they can make better decisions early in their life. I'm 50 years old, y'all. I love what I do. I love my conjure. I love my people. I love the spirits. But the spirits are not going to correct your behavior problem. And if you are making your children think certain behavior is okay, when they get into a relationship, it's not going to be okay. That's why my subject was my way or the highway. Fathers, mothers are making their children eat sour grapes because they're not acknowledging the bad behavior that they have for whatever the reason. Don't go around and say, well, I didn't have my mom in my life or my daddy did this. At the end of the day, it doesn't change anything. You still corrupted your seed. For whatever reason I did what I did, whether it was I felt it was a good reason or a bad reason or I didn't really mean it like that, at the end of the day, you still damage what you love. And let me tell y'all something. When you can get hurt by the people that you know love you, then you're going to really think subconsciously it's okay for other people to do it to you. How many of you parents out there, how many of you aunties and uncles can see the same behavior in your bloodline? You may not do it like you might not lie like Uncle Gerald, but you lie. You might not be as sneaky as Auntie Cheryl, but you sneaky. You understand? You might clean up real good. You might carry yourself a little better. You might be more educated. You might be more articulate. You might be even more anointed. But at the end of the day, same behavior. My way or the highway. You're not in a relationship. You're still in a parent-child relationship. Or if you're not in a parent-child relationship, you're in a master-servant relationship. And those are not healthy relationships. So either your husband is going to dominate or the wife. Y'all don't know how to be partners. Y'all don't know how to be co-creators. The Bible talks say that we are co-creators in Christ Jesus. But a lot of us don't know how to co-parent. We don't know how to co-pastor. We don't even know how to co-pay. You understand? So when I get up here this morning and thinking about a lot of the people that I am responsible for, that what's up, Monique Fofo, that really look up to me and trying to emulate me, a part of my responsibility is telling you about the corrections that I have made in my behavior. I grew up with that mindset, my way or the highway. And that's not healthy. That's why my relationship didn't work out. Not because you're going to keep challenging people and trying to make people do what you want your way. And everybody got different raises, different ways of looking at things, different. I was not even as a Sagittarian, I was not even that open-minded. And I should, because Sagittarian has broad horizon. But because of my raising, and we used to say this, if it's good enough for me, it's good enough for you. Well, that's not true, y'all. That's not true. That's not true. And when you as a parent, when you look around, make sure I don't go too far. When you as a parent, when you look at your tree and you're looking at your children and you're not acknowledging that you have something. What's up, Mama Susan? When you are not acknowledging that you have something to do with what's going on with your children's life, and setting certain things in motion. And then when they get in spirituality, they're going to expect other people to fill in gaps that you did not do your job. Or the thing about it is, when I looked at my son. My sons have so much potential. But all of my kids are ensnared by smothering mothers. I'm going to say it again. All of my grown children, mothers dominate them emotionally. The same way I was. Out of all my conjure spirits, spirituality, hoodoo, voodoo, Santeria, Kumi, that didn't change, y'all. Know what changes things? Information. Know what changes things? Getting knowledge. Thank you, Monique 444, my cancer. I am really concerned, not only for myself and my own family, but I'm concerned about our families. We are out here following patterns that didn't do our mama good, no good, our daddies no good. These kids, when I say kids, I'm talking about 30-year-old, I'm talking about 40-year-old, are still drinking the sour grape juice from 3-4 generations ago. And nobody not saying nothing. You can't dress this up. You can't buy this up. You can't anoint this up. You got to realize where this sour, y'all talking about a sour jar and putting people in a sour. No, our bloodline has created a spiritual sour jar that many revolving doors of cousins I see. I look around on my mama's side, on my daddy's side, and see the same identical stuff. And everybody just going on like it's normal. It's not normal. Just you hurting your kids. You're making decisions that you think, and this is what gets me. When we do it to other people's children, like I'm used to myself, I'm a man. I do it to your daughter. But when somebody do it to my daughter, I got a problem. When your daughter is attracted to the same energy you are, it don't feel good. When your son is attracted to the same energy you are, normally when in-laws do not like daughter-in-laws, because that daughter-in-law is exactly or very similar to that mother, and vice versa. And they both are trying to do the same thing to the same target, which may be the husband or the wife. If that father dominated his daughter, he's not going to like that other man that comes in and takes his place and can take control because he's used to dominating and controlling his daughter. But she's not going to resist it because she's used to that from her father. So no matter what kind of conjure she does, no matter how kind of bath cleanser she does, she's already molded into a position. And that she's going to have to be remolded. As the Bible says, you're going to have to be put back on the potter's wheel. That's why I teach universal laws. I don't care how much you pray, baby. I don't care how much you conjure. Do affirmations. These roots ain't going nowhere. I can't do conjure. I can't work magic without the roots. And the reason why I can use this plant, because this plant has a behavior. And the reason why we use it in conjure, because every plant that has its seed operates the same way. So it doesn't matter if I get it in the United States, whether I get it in Alaska, whether I get it into China. If it is this same family of plant, I'll be able to use the same type of conjure and manifestation with this said family. Because even plants have a family tree. And a lot of y'all that say that y'all trying to get into spirituality, y'all got to understand this. You are a tree. You got roots. You got branches. You got leaves. And when you are trying to cleanse yourself for 2023, you think about, I was telling them earlier, Ammonia 44, like this is the clean version. Before I got into this, well, I'm showing y'all this, it was so much dirt packed into these roots. What kind of dirt? In order for you to have a foundation to grow in, it don't matter if it's toxic, it's still your foundation. And how much of that soil have you absorbed over? Like most of us, not all, but most of us stayed in our parents' house till we're 18 years old, right? How much of that toxicity have you absorbed in 18 years? That's a long time, y'all. A pattern is created every 21 days. How many times? Like, that's how I want to open the math to many of you guys. When you get into this conjure, or whether you're in Christianity, voodoo, Santeria, and you wonder why certain things are hard to break, because you don't realize how many layers of time that you don't absorb what was ever in the soil. Because economically, you were a child. Where were you going? You had to be there. And you absorbed mama, daddy ways, auntie, whoever was around you. Now, this is the thing. If you can admit you didn't like the way mama was handling you, or daddy was handling you, or cousin was handling you, or grandma was handling you, but you won't admit that you got some of them same tendencies. And you bring that same mindset into spirituality. I remember having this conversation with my mom, and she was telling my sister, oh, me and your brother have a good relationship. I said, no, we don't. I said, just because, she's like, we talk. I said, no, you talk. When I try to tell you what I'm thinking, you don't want to hear it. So I just shut up. Just because I listen to you don't mean we have a good relationship, and don't mean that because when you love somebody, it ain't just about you. And most people grow up thinking that the only voice that is important in a conversation is yours. Guess what I do? Not only do I used to operate just like she did, I also do what she do too. I would cut people off in the middle of a conversation. I wouldn't even hear them out because I wasn't hearing what I wanted to hear. I got that from my raising. And that makes you a poor communicator. Huh? Same thing when you pray to God. It's all one-sided. Same thing you pray to the ancestors. It's all one-sided. Only person you worried about getting something out of that conversation is you. That's why you feel good when you get through praying. Because you don't want unloaded. No, you ain't wait for a feedback. You ain't wait for a yes, no, maybe, not today, Satan. You ain't wait for nothing. All you were raised up when you're communicating to plants, trees, anything. You're never giving back. It's always your way or the highway. It is one concept. It's never a dual mentality. It's never you sitting there saying, you know what? I need to learn how to really communicate. I had to learn how to use education and common sense together. Exactly. And you know another thing we got to learn how to do? Stop being condescending. We love to do that. We are so eager when it comes down to what we want out of life is to come across as somebody did us wrong. When we done set things in motion. I didn't even want to finish talking about see my son yesterday because I was just upset. Because I saw myself. I saw my whole mother-son relationship being reenacted again in my children. That's why to this day I refuse to intervene spiritually in my children's life trying to make them do what I want to do. That is the worst thing that you can do as a parent. And let me explain why. Praying on your children and trying to make them do, whether you're an Ifa, Voodoo, Santeria, Lukumi, Congo, Apollo, don't matter. It's because you're making them susceptible for other people to pray on them. You're weakening them where other people can influence them as well. Because when you do the damage, other spirits are going to step in. Whether it be a friend, whether it be a lover, whether it be a husband, a wife, whether it be a teacher, whether it be a PE coach, it don't matter. Because of the way that you handle energy on your child is now the way that other people are going to be susceptible to your children. You understand? I hope that you're not out there doing the type of magic and you're trying to make them be with somebody or break up their relationships, all that. That stuff come back around. Huh? I'm watching it now in my nieces in relationship. Huh? It's okay. You mad because somebody praying on your daughter, but you weren't mad for praying on somebody's son. What's up, Madam May? How you doing? Much love. Scorpio in the house. I ain't telling you what to do. I'm a Sagittarius. My moon is Aries and rise sign Pisces. I'm just making you some aware of some of the stuff that I am doing. I am not going to make, as a parent, certain things okay because I don't want my kids repeating those habits. If you don't like what you were going through in your life, no matter what your spirituality is or your platform is, then you have to start being honest and say, listen, baby, mama made a bad decision. Mama was thinking with her lower parts, not with her cranium. Daddy, son, listen here, son. Daddy wasn't thinking correctly. Daddy priorities wasn't in order. And guess what? That's the same type of spiritual parent you're going to be. The same type of pastor or leader or tata mumbo. But when you don't care and you're more concerned about this quote, respecting you, when what you have done has caused me to drink sour grapes, you see me with the locked jaw and it don't bother you, long as you don't look bad. Baby, look at these. The roots tell everything. People get involved with you. They can tell the toxicity in your family. It ain't gonna take them long. Some of us, if we got married today or tomorrow, we wouldn't want to invite our families. That's how I know some of us know better. Some of us, if we were getting married today or tomorrow, we wouldn't want to invite family. He or she will have all their family there because we'll be shamed because the other family gets along. Don't mean that nobody perfect, y'all. But they're not as dysfunctional. They know how to disagree. And move on. They know how to live and let live. They know how to borrow money and pay back. You understand? The decent stuff. They know how to not mess with their children sexually. They understand not to go over there and mess with their sisterhood. Like, when you got certain things going on in your family, you shame of it. But guess what, baby? You still part of the tree. And when you're doing conjure, you're bringing that energy up from the roots. When we talk about Kundalini energy from the root chakra coming up, that energy, it still got to flow through your bloodline. It still got to flow through your ancestry. And whatever's in your ancestry is coming out in those spirits. That's why all of us can't do the same type of work. Huh? Why you think I'm a warrior? Because I got fighters in my family. I didn't say they were righteous fighters. They know how to fight. They dirty. They'll get down dirty. It is what it is. That's why I don't claim to be this nice, happy-go-lucky guy, because that ain't who I am. I try to be better. I try to be respectful. I try to be kind. I try to be decent. But at the root of a thing, you are who you are. These sciences help you evolve and mature, hopefully. But if you get out here and you don't, it's everything is about your way and the highway, baby. Making sure I gotta go pick up Ms. Martin. Let me tell y'all something. If you're gonna follow me, when we do cleansing and we do these ceremonies and stuff, I want you to know what you're investing in. I hope that something I said in this particular live, that some of you really get my concern for hoodoo, voodoo, Christianity, any of the ATRs. Because a lot of us have lived most of our lives drinking from sour grapes. We don't know what sweet is. This is when I knew to start making changes in my life. Seek guidance, and I wouldn't invite an unhealed. I wouldn't invite an unhealed me. Exactly. Like when you start saying, when you looking at the what Michael Jackson said, looking at the man in the mirror, a lot of y'all, a part of conjure is a universal law called reflection. If you cannot look back on and realize that how you handle a situation is just not proper. I had aunties say, "Oh, I make them hate me." I have my mom who used to say, "Oh, I make sure they see me and then I don't speak." Like when you grow up with that kind of mentality, people not gonna like you, cause that's rude. What's up there? It said, "Lord knows I need a clean." What's up, Darius? I had to reach my 7 children to stand on their own and think before doing anything with the consequences of your behavior. Can you pay the price? Exactly. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. The best thing you can do with spiritual children, natural children, and I feel like I am responsible for a lot of people that give ear to me. You cannot lie about who you are. And when you know better, do better, but then turn around and teach your kids. Now that daddy knows, now that mama knows, that's spiritual naturally. This what I taught you, that ain't the way to do that. That's not the way to handle that. That's not the way to respond to that. That's not the way to conduct yourself. That's not the way to dress. Because guess what? When you're gone, you're leaving them back here in this place called Jesus, I send you as a sheep among wolves. Baby, they'll eat you all this by, oh, mama love you, won't tell you nothing wrong. Them lies. Father knows best. Them lies. Them lies. We grow, we evolve. We gain wisdom, we gain knowledge. We gain understanding. And then when you pray with clarity and not with that mindset, my way or the highway. Because they're going to find you out. You're going to be by yourself. People not going to want to be around you because they're going to figure out after a while, it's all about what you want. It's not about what you're not even concerned. Listen, the roots feed the whole plant. The roots feed the whole plant. And let me tell y'all why I'm not out here grabbing up God's children and all. Because it's a lot of work. It's responsibility. Anytime you want that many responsibilities and you ain't got enough time in a day, come on, y'all. It's responsibility. It's conjure. It's lifestyle. It's life cycles. And this I don't want to ever come across like this is easy. It's rewarding, but this is not. It's like getting up this morning and getting on here telling my business like this. This ain't easy. I don't, like sometimes people like, oh, Apostle Ely, you just so transparent. You think that's easy? I'm a Sagittarius. Don Juan. It's easy. My children look up to me. It's easy for me to go along with the program. It's easy. But I can't do it to them. I can't do it. Just like I ain't going to do it to y'all. I'm not going to let you think that this is easy and there's no work behind this and it's all about collecting money and getting it. No, baby. This is constant sacrifice. If you knew the amount of money that I have brought in, but how much I have spent, I don't have no stash sitting on beside my 401k and my stock, but I had to do that or I wouldn't have nothing. Spirituality is constant. Because when I think I got what I need, I got to go get something else. Just spirit, get this, get that, get this. Because I'm always accruing somebody else's situation and circumstance. What can I do to help their situation? What can I do to because that's what kind of parent I am. What can I do for my kids to make life easier, not easy, easier for them to function in? And a part of that easy is giving them the truth. Tell your child, I deceived you about your daddy. I deceived you about your mama. I deceived you about your uncle. I was mad with them. I was jealous of them. Tell them the truth because they're going around with that same energy. And I know you see it. If you see this video today, tomorrow, 5 years from now, there's no way on God's green earth that if you have gotten to a certain age that you do not see those cycles going around through your tree. Huh? This side look just like this side. Some of them hanging, some of them higher, some of them lower. But they all come from the roots. They all come from the roots. If you're going to follow me, you're going to support me, I want you to know what you're supporting. If you're not trying to change, you're not trying to evolve. My Arisha is Oya. She is the Arisha of change. This ain't about, if I'm going to be destroying, it's for to bring in something new. I'm not, like 2023 is like, I am really trying to get to a place because there's too many hurting people. There's too many people out here that got gallons, 5 gallons of nothing but sour grapes. They walking around here with lockjaw and claiming to be Tatas, Mambos, Hungas, Bokor, Arish. Baby, get healed. Spend your 2023 getting yourself together. Unpacking the foolishness. Talk to family. Be honest. No, you know why Auntie mad. You had a baby with her husband. She got a right to be upset. And stop talking about the child innocent. You know why she's upset with that child? Like, let's be for real. Yes, the child is innocent of the charges, but the child is not in an innocent situation. Let's be for real. A rape child is innocent, but the act itself is not innocent. And all this ignorant talking about, oh, it should, like, it's still a child. Come on, y'all. I'm just using that as an example. It was hard work for me, but it can be done. I had to love them to teach them what's right, even though I was wrong. I had to do it too, baby. I do this with my congregation. A lot of times people think it's easy when I get up and say this stuff. Baby, that's not easy. All right, I got to go get Minister Mario. But guys, let me tell y'all something. I appreciate y'all trusting me, but if you're going to trust me, I'm going to give you the truth. Some days it's going to be 100 and some days it's going to be 1,000. Because it's too much going on for us not to be dealing with the truth. All right? Much love to y'all. I'll see y'all a little later on today. God bless.